What is going on, everybody? We're back on it for the last time this season. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 23. I feel like we've been at this for a while, because didn't we have like a 3-week break in there? So, like, really, what? Almost 30-something weeks? 29 weeks? The season has been insane. I know we've kind of had the debate of, like, what do we are we considering the Attack on Titan like an anime season? Are we considering that like a special? Regardless. And I haven't seen everything, but this is in the discussion for season of the year, anime of the year, right here. The entire season has been insane, and it's been like the dial has been cranked to 10 like the entire time of just the intensity, the stakes, the losses. Yeah, it's been a lot. We've got a little bit of world building. It's not the most complex story, you know. I don't think we're anybody. At least I can't speak for manga, but anime only is saying, you know, this is as deep with twists and turns and this it's not that level, but it's been entertaining, and it's been doing good at what it does good. So we'll finally get this last episode. We had Yuki, so we have a Yuki, a Yuta, and a Yuji. Why the author had to do that. But Yuki shows up at the end of last episode, and I'm just curious, like, how this ends. Like, does Geto just say, like, all right, I'm out? Like, he's got his little Rubik's Cube with Gojo in it. I'm sure he's got whatever cursed spirit he's got in his arsenal that can teleport him somewhere, just like step into a door frame and like leave. Because I don't see us like capturing him. I don't see him killing everybody. So we have 20 something minutes, because it starts at, what are we at, 1:45, and it ends at 22. Yeah, we got about 20 minutes to somehow wrap up this insane season, and there still needs to be a, like, maybe a cool down part on the season. Like, let us know that, like, this ends, and like what are we looking to going forward. There's a lot there. We got the Yuji brother situation explained, so I'm sure we'll get that information, like how they're actually blood related. And it very well could be. I don't know. I could be incorrect. I want to say I don't think Yuji is also a cursed womb himself. Could be. Very well could be. But maybe just whatever woman that man ended up using, that bloodline is what Yuji falls under. Maybe generations later, that's his mother, or was his... Or maybe he just straight up is a cursed spirit. Maybe he is just straight up a cursed womb. Could 100% be. Because it doesn't explain his, like... Because he had extreme speed and extreme strength compared to normal kids and humans beforehand. So maybe he is. Had the whole Mei incest thing going on. Yeah. So like, is she even committed to the cause, or is she just committed to herself and her brother and money, wherever it benefits her? That's a whole other thing. Urame with the ice abilities was pretty dope. But if she knows Sukuna, like they actually know of each other, how old is she? And how is she able to... I mean, she has reverse curse techniques, so who knows what she is or what she's capable of or what she can and can't do. And besides that, that's about it. The remaining cast members that have been involved in the arc, anybody that is anybody, is kind of right here in this setting. Aside from the principal and the girl that can reverse curse technique heal anybody at her disposal, those are the only two that kind of like aren't here. I feel like everybody else is pretty much here at this setting. And the only other, I guess, sorcerer... I mean, there could be a ton of sorcerers out there that could prove to be useful, that could prove to even be a problem to fake Geto, or whatever name we want to go with. It's just Yuta. Yuta's the only one that like hasn't shown an appearance, because like if Yuki's gonna show up, I think the only other notable named sorcerer that we haven't seen this entire season is him. So does he show up? Do we pan to him, of him getting information on what happened? A lot of stuff. Yeah, it's been a pretty amazing season. We'll talk about it again at the end. Let's get into it. Yeah, she doesn't like that plan. Girl, you could have said this at the beginning when you put us on the wrong path. Because the guy in there, the fake Geto, he has a whole nother worldview on what he wants humans and curses to evolve to be. Yeah? Yeah, he just got eaten. What is this infinite Tsukuyomi shit he just casted? Is he gonna be able to idle transfigure anybody within that radius, or what? So he does still get a limited time use of the ability. He's gonna get rid of the barrier! What the fuck just happened to her? I was supposed to say, does she agree with what he's doing? She got poisoned by Choso's blood. I don't know what he's doing. He just wants to go home. Yeah. He wants to get out of there so bad. The music is going insane right now. These kids are going to die. Unless Yuki is that girl. I want to see her in action, though. She's kind of badass. But she's also, like, goofy at the same time. So, it's like, I don't know when that switch flips for her. Just never ends. I still don't even have 100% of like what he was talking about, what he did, and what he's doing. Because it's interesting to see that the two of them have a conversation there, knowing that that's not the real Geto. So like what they're talking about doesn't really mean anything to him. Heian period. Is that just when sorcerers like ruled the world, like they were just at peak? It was like if you're not a sorcerer, you're pretty much just die in this world type thing. Like, is she just there because that's the side that benefits her? Like, does she even agree with whatever he's doing? Are they allies? I don't know. I knew he was going to just, like, dip, slide, and ride out of there. We don't defeat him. And we didn't get to see any of Yuki's abilities, man. Another season gone, and we have no idea what she does. It's not just, like, sorcerers, you know? This isn't some, like, Harry Potter thing where it's just like, okay, the wizards are dealing with something, and the humans, the muggles, don't know about it. Or Tokyo Ghoul, where, like, they're dealing with the ghouls and the rest of the world doesn't know about it. Like they know. Or they know that something's happening. What is it? What's about to happen here? I feel like there's about to be pure chaos that's about to happen. They don't have enough. To protect the people, at least. They have enough to, like, protect maybe sorcerers, but not every person across the country. Like, this panic is building, and this panic is building, and the panic is building and building and building. That I think it seems like it's gonna pop before the season ends. And they're gonna leave us on a massive cliffhanger or something. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever watched like zombie movies or zombie shows, and you know what's you know like the outbreak has started. Oh Jesus! You know the outbreak of zombies has started, but like the world isn't caught up on like what's going on. It's only like the higher ups, the militaries, maybe the really famous people. They've all gotten word on like, okay, stuff's happening. Like, you guys need to move, get to the airport, pull all your assets, do this, blah, 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 blah. And the humans are like, oh, they're hearing reports of like power outages and a man with rabies or something like that, but nobody knows what's going on. And then it just keeps, it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and then it just hits the regular population, and it's just pure chaos. And like, it's a full zombie outbreak, and nobody's prepared or has any idea what's going on. See ya, girl. Maybe she'll get saved, actually. Maybe she'll get... She did! Bro, where have you been? The world's going to shit. About to say, do you think they killed this random girl? Where you been, buddy? Just hanging out in Africa or wherever he's been. He looks like he's got more, like, confidence in him than the last time we saw him in the movie. I still don't know how Rika still exists. Because didn't she cease to exist? He seems like he's got more what? Like, he's not about the bullshit anymore. He doesn't seem like a scared kid anymore. He doesn't seem like a scared kid anymore. That's just unsure of himself and his abilities. Yuta wants to kill... I forgot they have no relation. Okay. They think that's him. Satoru Gojo is listed as a co-conspirator. What? Permanently expelled? I mean, okay, sure. Instigated Satoru Gojo, Inseguro Geto, and the ship. Huh? Who's coming? What? Yeah, they want to execute him immediately. Wait, what? That escalated so fast. What are we doing about this situation? The season's gonna end. It's not like, oh, the episode's just gonna end. The season's gonna end without getting clarification on what the hell's going on. I mean, we see it, but like, what is it that he actually did? He just awakened all these curses that are just taking over the area, but it's too much for us to take out? Could we not have like retreated and came back with a group of sorcerers to like exterminate this and nip it in the bud before it spreads like this badly? Like, I know the sorcerer world in Japan got rolled right here with this incident, but like, we got a reverse curse technique, girl. Could we not have like taken 48 hours, 72 hours to like compose ourselves and get ourselves together, gone out there with fucking Yuki and like everybody else and started like clearing some of this back? Like trying to get rid of some of these zombies that are spreading, or like it's just too much too late? Like, why did we let it get to this point? Why didn't you try clearing some of it when you were there? Yuki was in full power, at least. I don't know. I don't know. And I totally forgot that Yuji and Yuta have no history. I was like, oh, they're friends. Like, what? He's just going to go after... But I forgot that, like, he wasn't involved in the movie stuff. That was Panda and Salmon Boy and Maki. They have no... Yuta and Yuji have no... He's just clearing... He's just out there clearing it himself. Yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. I figure he's just out there clearing it. So yeah, that was... Yeah. This is the part that we're looking for right here. I totally forgot that they have no friendship relationship. I'm like, oh, you know, he's been to Shibuya High, like in the movie, but Yuji wasn't even a part of that. All the others, every student minus him. So they have no relation to each other. But his that trip to Africa, huh? Man came back with like a little attitude, a little bit of a, like when he left, he was just this scared, unsure kid. Didn't know what world he was getting into. Didn't want to speak up. Couldn't even couldn't order his own food in public. Now he's coming back with like this sword. He's got like like he still looks presentable in front of like kids and like weak, but he's got like this attitude about him and doesn't want to be bothered. Almost like a Gojo personality. Like Gojo would help the kids and all those type of things, but whenever Gojo would meet with like the higher ups, like he wouldn't pay them any mind, like slightly disrespectful, didn't really care. So all that just goes to like, I guess, and we don't know anything about him besides the movie. So to dive into like his personality and stuff, it's like, I don't know why these sorcerers, the special grades seem to not have any interest in like doing anything for the higher ups or whoever's in charge. Why do they bother? Why do they listen to them at all? Why does Yuki or Yuta or Gojo or any of them even, why don't you just be your own thing? Like, they're not going to be able to kill you. You're special grade. They would lose, the sorcerer world would lose so many sorcerers at the chance of hoping to like injure you or put you down or kill you. So why even go to these meetings or do anything for them? I don't know. I don't know why they choose to like stay involved in that whole thing. So they came out and said, well, I guess I can see the Gojo part of it. Okay. Because under the impression here, well, I don't know, because there's so many conflicting reports. Because he said, well, it was Choso made the statement of like who that man actually was. And the others, I don't know if they confirmed, okay, that's who that is. I don't think we ever got clear confirmation on like, okay, that's someone using Geto's body. I think the only person that put that together and saw proof of that was Gojo, and Gojo's not here. So I guess the only information that like the higher ups have to go off of is Gojo stated and confirmed that he killed Geto, like he said he did. Here we go years later, Geto is alive. And now Gojo has been captured or sealed. So if we're going by that, Gojo didn't kill him, lied about killing him, and maybe you have a part, so, okay, maybe that, that charge being presented to the court. You want to say Gojo was a co-conspirator? I won't fight you with that. You want to say Geto is alive? I won't fight you with that either, because yeah, he seems to be alive. The principal, though, why is he taking shots? Not taking shots. The man's been sentenced to death, by the way. The hell? Like, how does... Yeah, I mean, okay, I was their teacher at one point, but what's that got to do with me? Besides all those charges that they've been put out there. We know it's not going to happen. Clearly, it's not going to happen. Yuji's not going to be executed or not going to be killed. Now, I don't even think he's the main character of this story, to be honest with you. He stays alive until Sukuna can exist outside of needing that body, which I don't know if he ever will be. Like when all fingers eventually get consumed, which I'm assuming they will be, can he exist outside of needing Yuji's body? And then like they're not tied to each other? Because like right now, if you kill Yuji, those fingers are gone. It's done. It's dead. It's dusted. But I don't think they're ever going to do that. Now, once all the fingers have been consumed, can they then? Maybe. He's not going to get executed. He's not going to die. But I do agree with that line of thinking. We know it's not going to happen because Yuji is quote-unquote the main character. That's not going to happen. He's not going to be killed. But I do agree with that. He needs to be put down. Point blank period. You just saw like what went down. And with everything else that's going on, if Sukuna was to assume power with everything, it's just a mess. So that's what we had going on with the ending. What is it? What was he trying to explain that he did? With the whole Tengen thing, is he trying to get rid of the barrier? Or are we trying to remove Tengen completely? And what is it that he's even really trying to do? Because, you know, she was sitting there talking to what she thought was Geto on, you know, we had different ideals. Do you still believe this? Do you still believe that? The guy she's talking to, I think he's got some completely different things set in motion. Now, what time period he's trying to go with? Like, he just wants sorcerers to rule? Like, sorcerers could just rule at any time if they wanted to, given the power that they possess over regular humans. So why does he want to see the world just fall into, like, complete darkness? Essentially, like, it does seem like it's straight up, like, apocalypse, a zombie apocalypse. Like, why do you need all that? And who's to say that if these things do build up like this, that Sukuna's gonna, like, are him and Sukuna like on the same page here? Like, what are we doing? And that's the thing I don't know. I don't know the part that like Sukuna plays with Urame with the fake Geto. Are all like, is this plans that have been set into motion for a long time? Like, okay, because he's a human sorcerer, a man. Does that not strictly go against like what Sukuna might be or might want to be? If Sukuna comes back and just because you've changed the world and like whatever this apocalyptic curses just walk the streets type thing. I mean, who's to say Sukuna can't just blink you out of existence at any point if he wanted to? So what it is he actually did, I don't know. He made it sound like he set up like over this whole time that he's been building. He's been like tinkering with these cursed wounds and things like that. Did he flat out say that Yuji is one? It seemed pretty crystal clear that he said Yuji was one, or he was giving examples. Like he did that with Junpei as well. Like he tinkered with that. I don't know. It seems like he's been tinkering with a lot of shit. Almost like the Doctor in My Hero. It's like, how long have you been around like collecting and doing shit like this? I don't know. But has he just been going around for hundreds of years making sleeper agent curses, contracts, things to essentially spawn whenever he sees fit, and right now is when he sees fit? Sleeper agents with all these cursed wombs, I would assume, and then got Mahito's ability, juiced it, and activated all those sleeper cells? Like, is that what's going on here? That's kind of how I took it, but I could be completely wrong, completely halfway right. I have absolutely no idea. You guys are gonna have to explain that to me, what he's doing, and then you start talking about like Tengen and, you know, breaking the seal. What is it that his seal even does? I don't know. There's a lot of questions on, you know, star plasma vessel and Tengen and what purpose that he serves to and I know it's been stated before, like the purpose of Tengen and what he does, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head at all. The purpose of Tengen and what is it that the barrier that he possesses, or whatever is it that he does. What does it do for the sorcerer world? I have absolutely no idea, because it's not like we lose our power. So what is it that the barrier does that Tengen, I guess, is made to keep up at all times? I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea. I don't know if it like keeps a veil up between like curses and regular humans, like separates the world, like some Harry Potter shit, like they can't see so they don't know. Regardless, though, whatever it is that he did that set into motion the spirits that he's been messing with, the humans that he's been messing with, isn't that Fushiguro's sister, the one that was in that hospital bed, half sister? I don't know, there's a lot of moving parts. That whole sequence of fake Geto talking about what he implemented and was putting into place, and why Mahito's ability was so important to it all and all that. Absolutely no idea what any of that is. Y'all are gonna have to break that down and explain all that. And it just seems like everything's gone to shit. Now, there's always been curses and stuff running around. You know, that's why they have the sorcerers. They get hired to do these jobs, to go to they went to the prison in season 1 and had to get rid of that curse that was running through there. And, you know, they get called to do jobs, essentially. So they've always been there, been a thing. What is it, just like cranked up to 10 right now? Like it's too much for the sorcerers to handle? Because that was a question that I had. It's like, okay, this looks like it's a big problem. We have 2 special grades that we can get on the phone. We got a reverse curse technique healer. We need to have a quick response to this thing, like very fast. Get every sorcerer on the phone. Get both special grades here. We need to like contain this. Like we need to contain this zombie outbreak before it spreads. Did they not just come right back and try to just torch Earth and just like, let's push these waves back, push them back before they spread? Or is it something that they're not even able to? I don't know why they didn't try to like get on that. And maybe that's what they're trying to do right now. Like, I don't know the time that's passed, but it looks like it's getting worse. So I don't know what Yuta's doing, or what Yuki's doing, or what the other sorcerers are doing, but this shit looks looking like it's spreading extremely fast. Citizens are being taken out. So what the response team is, I don't know. It's chaos. It's an absolute mess. It's an absolute mess. So what this new emo depressed boy over here is doing, I don't know. He's not going to kill Yuji. I'd love to actually see them fight to the death, but it'll be some... Maybe they do have a little fight, but I'm sure it'll be some kind of... You know how it goes. You see it in stories all the time where, like, 2 guys on the same side. Like, you guys are fighting the same thing, but one of them thinks the other one has to be taken out for some reason. They'll have their little spat, their little back and forth, I'm sure. And then they'll have a moment where they realize things, and then they're all going to be working down the... You know how it goes. That's not a real thing. But yeah, well, wild season. And that ending is crazy. They dumped so much in there. And we still don't get any of Yuki's abilities. I mean, clearly she's got the flying fish. But whatever that thing, what that does specifically, I have absolutely no idea. I don't even know how Rika still exists. Because I guess from my understanding, you know, he's the once in a lifetime reincarnated, you know, never runs out of cursed energy, one of one lifetime sorcerer type thing, bloodline, famous, whatever you want to call it. And he cursed Rika upon her death that turned her into this, you know, protector of him. But they exhausted all of that in the movie. So how she now still exists and is still a thing, when I thought that, like, that's what the whole point, like, not the point of the movie, but like they used her powers. They had to use all of it and essentially made her cease to exist. So how she's now still existing, I don't know. Maybe that's a spoiler thing and it'll get explained as we go down the line. I have absolutely no idea, but insane. A strong season. I mean, it's an easy 8.5, 9 out of 10 season. Not everything's perfect, and this wasn't perfect either. But that's man, between Vinland Saga season 2 and then Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, those both right there for me are like animes of the year. It depends kind of what you're more into. I guess what your vote would be. If you're into flashy fights, if you're into fights in general, colors, character designs, crazy just battles and light shows and abilities and pop, like that's more your style of anime, then Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be your thing. If you're more for just dialogue, conversation, human interaction, conversation, what does it mean to be, to exist, asking these philosophical questions, then Vinland Saga is going to be your vote for sure. Two different animes, two different stories, but this was very strong. I mean, it was a great season. Now, can they reproduce this is the question, because man, you come out with a season like that, there's very high expectations, very high expectations. So it's hard when you come out with like a 9 and a 9.5. Next season could be a solid set, like a 7, 8, and it's still a step down. I've had a lot of people say, this is the best that it gets in the manga, as far as like totality of just like I guess an arc encompassed. Of course, there's going to be bigger stakes, bigger moments as we go down. Gojo's not going to stay sealed forever. Sukuna will amass all of his fingers. More sorcerers, top sorcerers are going to die. Whether that's Maki or Fushiguro, Yuta, Yuki, maybe fake Geto. Like, there's a lot of big plot points that are still going to happen, so there's definitely still things to look forward to. But can they reproduce that? We'll see. We will see. We'll go ahead and leave it there. Strong season, and that's it for Jujutsu Kaisen. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, and as always,